Yeah, what up, folks? So basically, I wanted to do a video on a case study that I had. Right. This case study was basically on a glow plug fault, basically. Right. But this vehicle also had a serious misfire. Right. And nobody could seem to figure out where it coming from. So the customer decided to give me a shout to see if I can come and diagnose it for him, in which I did. And what I did first, I guess I scanned the car and I didn't get any codes that basically stood out other than the glow plug in number cylinder number two. So I decided to stick the exhaust pulse sensor that I made set up in the exhaust pipe, and I just synced over number one injector. Right, it's a diesel engine, so the noise was really loud, so I decided to mute it. But anyway, so as you can see, the firing order is 1342. Right, I'm watching the compression of each cylinder, right? But I'm also watching the exhaust pulses, and I'm seeing that number two was missing compression, and number one basically exhaust pull wasn't there at all, right? So I mentioned to the client that, hey, I'm seeing faults in number one and especially number two cylinder, and I think you need to look at it. So he said, well, let's take the injectors out and see if the injectors are the issues. I said, it's more than that, man. I'm not seeing no compression on number two at all, right? And I think you have to rebuild this engine because I'm not seeing an exhaust pull either, right? Something is going on in this engine. And I mean, it's kind of hard to explain these things to the customers and expect them to understand. But I mean, the guys like myself, we clearly see these things based on our lab scope, right? So he finally gave in and decided to give me the permission to tear the engine apart and to rebuild it. And basically, that's what I did. I wrecked the vehicle to my shop, and I decided to take it apart, right? And said, you know what, man, let me just take a proper capture of this so I can, deceive what I analyzed was correct. And lo and behold, this is what I found.
Previously on engine failure. So you remember when I did a video on the Ford Ranger with the misfire on number one and number two cylinder? Yep, this is number one, this is number two. Basically melted piston. So let's turn this and bring it to number on top. Number one also was failing. The injectors was an issue. Let's just give me a hand. Let's turn it real quick. All right, so you can see number one was also starting to fail. Number two, the walls is damaged right there. Crazy. Right, number three and number four is excellent, right? So let's take a look at the head. All right, so everything looked good on top. Let's flip. So you see what's happening.
So now you understand why I threw the glow plug code also, because basically the glow plug tip was burnt out in cylinder number two, right? Man, this come from basically from overfueling, right? Where the injectors was failing and the customer didn't service his injectors at all, and it was just dumping fuel, right? And basically, what happened was a lot of heat was inside cylinder number two. Actually, in all the cylinders, but number two took the full blunt of it. That's why it looked like that, right? So, yeah, if you don't service your injectors on time or service injectors at all, this is gonna happen, right? You're gonna have melt pistons, right? And basically, this engine is no good because it damaged the walls of the piston, also the head, right? So I'm just gonna let the customer know what he needs to do, but I can't do anything about it. I could try to sleeve the block as up to the customer, but Other than that, you still gotta get a turbo. You still gotta get other parts. You gotta get mounts. You gotta get starter. I mean, this car was in a hot mess, man. So as I said, man, you gotta change you gotta do your maintenance, proper maintenance all the time, man.
So I'm gonna make a recommendation to the client that you gotta replace this engine. Number 3 was happening. 2 also. Number 4 was good. Right, now let's go. Right, let's shake it. Let's check out number 4. Bring up number 4 real quick for me. So you hear number 4 was, let's see what's going on number 4. Number 4 ain't bad. No, number 4 have play also. Right, number 1.
This Ford Ranger T6 model, right, is known for oil failures at least I think 100,000 kilometers, and also failing injectors. So you definitely gotta stay up on these things because it will be costly, as you can see.
One eternity later.
Client decide to opt in to buy a complete engine, right? So that saved me from doing this overall. So we're just gonna slap this in. Got my boys ready hooking it up. So let's see how this performs.
Alright, switch off.
Some additional parts that are left, right? Basically, this is going with the client. If he decide to keep it, sell it, it's up to him. Doesn't matter to me, right? So I just wanted to show the fix, right, and show how the data guide me to show me what was going on inside the engine, right? So that's the cool thing about having scopes and scan tools, and I also have the knowledge to show the customer, hey, this is what you need to do, and basically let the data guide you, right? So sorry about the noise. This engine is very loud, right? To be honest, it's like extremely loud, and I'm screaming right now. So until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. Leave your suggestions down in the box. You know how we do. Take it easy. Peace.